Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of the Max medical drama starring Noah Ryle going back to his ER days, The Pitt, a 15 episode series which is streaming on Max right now. Just wrapped up its first season this past Thursday, and man, you want to talk about premiere week to week viewing. This was old school television viewing for me and my wife, watching this show on HBO Max or just Max, whatever it is. What a show. What a show. It's no point sitting here and lingering on with keeping you in suspense whether I liked it or not. I loved this show. The series follows an emergency department staff as they attempt to overcome the hardships of a single 15-hour work shift at the fictional Pittsburgh Trauma Medical Hospital, all while having to navigate staff shortage, underfunding, and insufficient resources. Each episode of the season covers approximately 1 hour of the work shift. And I didn't know anything about this going in. I wasn't an ER guy. I'm not a medical drama guy. You know, I never watched Grey's Anatomy. I didn't watch ER. I didn't watch Chicago Hope and all that other good stuff. I'm not a medical drama guy. But every now and then I'll peek in. Now I did love House. I watched House. But that is as fictional can get in that show. But I enjoyed it because it was more of Sherlock Holmes than it was a medical drama for me. But I don't know what it was that got me to watch The Pitt. But I'm so happy I did. Another show I can compare to this would be 24. If you remember that show with Kiefer Sutherland came on Fox, I don't know, about 30 years ago. And my God, I can't believe I uttered that. Yeah, it came on so long ago, but that show was fire. And what made it so good was that 24, the season had 24 episodes. Every episode was an hour, and you followed Jack Bauer on this mission. And every season was great. I loved it. Maybe not the last season, but all the other ones were great. And so I didn't know about this show going in and what the setup was, what the hook was of it. And it's basically 24 in a emergency room of a hospital. And we are following these doctors and nurses as all hell breaks loose, you know? And man, this is the most stressful viewing you ever want to watch, but stressful in the sense of watching these doctors and nurses go through their day, you know, trying to help their patients and at the same time navigate what's going on in their life. You know, they have to ain't like they can shut off the outside world and for every little thing. Some things you just can't shut off, you know, things that's going on in your life, marital issues, or, you know, children and so on and so forth, or PTSD from things you have witnessed on this job, and it's still eating away at you from the inside out. All of that is displayed here, and it's so stressful. And I just, this isn't more of a review than it is a acknowledgement of the hard work, the sacrifices that medical staff go through every single day. And you think about, I'm pretty sure everybody has been to a hospital, doctor's office, whatever, at some point in their lives. And you've been there and you've seen some unruly patients, you know, being impatient, being unruly, being uncooperative, and all these other things to the staff. And the staff are doing the best they can. And this show finds a little corner to talk about that. it finds a little corner to talk about the PTSD, the trauma, the past trauma that these doctors and nurses have went through. You know, even going back to COVID, you know, we have a doctor that is dealing with the ramifications of what happened during COVID, and another doctor that is dealing with a pregnancy, and she's uh, a high risk pregnancy. You know, she's tried in the past and all these other stuffs, and is a lot of stress that comes with that, and there's consequences to all of that as well. And it just brings up so many topics, but it's topical and it's real because these are things that if not you, I hope nobody has to go through the things that these patients were going through here. But you know somebody who has, you know, and who knows, knock on wood, we may have to go through things like this, you know. And this was hands down the most realistic medical show I've ever watched. Now, like I said, I didn't watch a lot of medical dramas, you know, the Grey's Anatomies and all that other good stuff. But I've seen episodes because my wife watched Grey's. Uh, I caught an episode or two of ER in the past, and so I've seen them. I just never committed to watching them. This is the first time I actually committed to watching it, and I can honestly say, just by seeing little tidbits of those shows, they can't hold a candle to what we saw in season 1 of the Pitt. This was so real, and I'm so glad. It was such a genius move by Max to release it week to week, every episode week to week. Because if you had to sit down and binge this, I don't think you can make it. I honestly, well, I'm saying you, I'm picking on all of you. You probably could, but me, I couldn't. There's no way. It was hard to get through a couple of 1 hour episodes every week, you know, with all of the things that was going on. Then you had a mass shooting event that took place during the later half of the episode, where you're getting hundreds of people coming to the hospital from gunshot wounds and being trampled over by fleeing people and stuff like that, and they have to deal with it. It is brutal, and it is so refreshing to see characters, to see these doctors on this particular show actually care. You know, there wasn't any twist. We didn't have a evil doctor working behind the scenes to sabotage and, you know, all that stupid stuff. This was real. This was doctors actually trying to help. Doctors who were doing everything in their power to save people's lives. And that could be physically, and it could be mentally, and in a couple of cases even spiritually. And it just checked all the boxes, man. I mean, the acting here, the acting in this show, like I said, Noah Wow, this isn't his first rodeo with medical dramas. He co-starred in the medical drama from my God, 40 years ago. I don't forgot when ER came out. I know I was in high school, so that says a lot. But yeah, he's coming back to the fold here. I know a lot of rumors were when this show was first coming out that this was a continuation of his character from ER, but that was debunked. That this is not related to ER. But man, Noah, wow, bruh. Wow. You want to talk about a good job. You want to talk about a protagonist that you can follow, that you can root for, that you can get mad at, that you can cheer for when he does something right. And, you know, it's like, I know this dude. This is a dude who I can rock with. You may be this dude. You know, he is just a guy doing his job. He's not super doctor. He's not House. You know, he's not that, but he is just a guy trying to save people's lives and trying to get everybody around him to save everybody's lives. We had some legacy actresses in this show, and it blew my mind. Upon researching for the review, I did not know. Well, I knew of one, and that was Winona Dorff. She plays Cassie on the show. She is the daughter of Steven Dorff, or Brad Dorff, not Steven Dorff. Brad Dorff, who is the voice of Chucky in Child's Play. And so I knew who she was, but I didn't know who Taylor Dearden is. I didn't know who she was, but I was so impressed with her. She acted her. She almost stole the show for me. She is probably 1A or 1B, my favorite character from the show. And it was all because of Dearden's performance. If you don't know who Taylor Dearden is, she is the daughter of Bryan Cranston. Did not know that. Yeah, Breaking Bad, Cranston. Did not know it, but once I found it out and went and looked, like, okay, oh, no wonder. It's in her DNA. Yeah, of course she could act. I mean, she acted her behind off, but quite honestly, everybody did. There wasn't one bad performance. Now there was one character that I wish I could have strangled, that I didn't like, Trinity Santos. I didn't too much care for her character, but it wasn't the actor's fault. I just didn't like the character. She was annoying. She was just so annoying, but she was supposed to be. So I'm not mad at her. I'm really not mad at her. She was, that annoying person that's just overconfident, like, I can do anything. I can do any and everything. That's her. And it didn't matter if the head doctor, the head resident was telling her different or whatever the case. She just knew the answer. And people like that just drives me insane, to say that was her first day on the job or her first year. I think she was an intern on the show, but yeah, she made it seem like she was the head honcho in the ER, but whatever the case may be, she did a great job at it. Everybody did. I love the character of Whitaker. I can't think of the actor's name who played him, but he did a great job. He's that doctor who, he's a medical student, but he lacks confidence, as opposed to Trinity. They're the yin and yang. She is overconfident, whereas Whitaker he has zero confidence, but he is so good at his job. And it was a running joke that ran with him. Every episode he had to change scrubs because something happened. Either he got bled on, or he got vomited on, or he got peed on, or it was something that happened to him throughout the entire show. He was really the comic relief until things started to pick up and things got more serious and serious as the season went along. But this was a well put together show. Like I said, it is. If you're a big fan of 24 and you like medical dramas, this is the bee's knees, man. This is the best thing since sliced bread, and I enjoyed every single episode of this show. There wasn't one episode I was like, this was a filler. No, every episode knocked it out of the park. You will laugh, you will cry, you will you will be entrenched. You would cheer for characters. You will mourn characters. It's so much going on, yet nothing was left, ambiguous. Nothing was left in a cliffhanger fashion. We got resolutions to, I would say, 99% of the issues. I say 99 in the event that I missed one, but I really don't think we missed one here. Everything worked. Everything was flushed out. And I do have one. There is one, but it's a spoiler in case you didn't see the season, so I don't want to mention it. But there's one, but it's not. It is what it is. I know I'm getting a season 2, so I'm not sweating it. So it is what it is. But this, hands down, what we in the middle of April right now. This is hands down the best show to come out in 2025. I know we have a lot of 2025 left, but this is a high bar to clear uh, uh remaining in this year for TV shows to come out and try to topple the Pit. Congratulations to Noah Wild. Congratulations to the showrunners. Congratulations to the rest of the cast and Max for giving us this gem. The Pit gets a letter grade of an A plus. Amazing show. I'm telling you, I cannot recommend this show enough. Amazing series. I mean, every box, man. I'm telling you the truth. The writing, the acting, the direction, the tone, the pace. Uh, no wrong. No notes, people. No notes. I would love to know. Did you see the Pit that's on Max? Did you watch all 15 episodes of this series? I would love to know your thoughts. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for this show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of the first season of The Pit. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.